r/AskReddit by Redmond Dts. What's the weirdest way you've ever gotten revenge on someone without getting caught? Had a neighbor that would walk into my backyard, take my gas can of gas for my mower, and put it in his car and mower, and then return the can. I found this out because I had begun to a little suspicious that this 5-gallon can was always nearly empty every time I went to mow the lawn, and it was only like a 1-quart tank on the lawnmower. This was back before cheap easy security cameras, so I had to set up a webcam from my laptop with motion detection software. Caught the guy going into the backyard literally 5 minutes after I left the house. For the next week, every time I had to take a piss, I pissed in that gas can. Now full of piss, but still smells enough like gas to fool an idiot. Then I left it on the back patio again. Made a big show of checking the fluids in my car, packing a few bags. Made sure the neighbor knew I was getting ready to go on a trip and I'd be gone a while. Hoping he takes the bait. I come back home in about an hour, car trouble. The thief is in his front yard pulling the rope on his lawnmower so hard. It looks like he's going to have a stroke. Turning bright red and cursing. Later he gets in his car, makes it a couple blocks up the road, and it suddenly breaks down. I check the gas can on my patio. Empty. I had a nightmare colleague who started angling for a promotion the second he was hired. After 3 years, he managed to persuade management to create a middle manager position in our office. I went to our manager, said I thought creating a middle manager position was an excellent idea, and sang the everlasting praise of another colleague, someone who would actually be good in that position. Didn't say a word about Nightmare Dude. Told my other colleagues I thought they should do the same. They did. The sensible guy was promoted, and 1 month later Nightmare Dude resigned. I have one semi-similar. I had a nightmare coworker, enough to where I ended up changing jobs. But the new job was still related to the old job. About a year later, I see old nightmare coworker in my boss's office interviewing. After she left, I went in and said, "Do not hire her. If you do, I'll quit." I had to drive home to get something during my lunch hour. Saw a cop parked between highway lanes watching traffic under an overpass in a place it was hard to see them until it's too late. No problem for me. On my way back to work, someone was tailgating me hard, but traffic was such I couldn't really get out of the way at first. They were just being an ass about it, so close to my bumper I couldn't even see their headlights in the rear view, and they kept revving the engine audibly. Knowing where the cop was, managed to delay the guy from passing, knowing that as soon as I did, they'd speed on past in a show of their supreme annoyance with me. I signaled for a lane change and slowly moved out of his way just before the overpass. And predictably, he sped past, in fact using the shoulder to do it, because he was in such a darn hurry. And then the police put on their lights, pursued, and pulled him over. Had a shitty housemate who kept stealing my food. Specifically snacks. I couldn't keep my food in my room. Super small, basically my bed and that's it, but we had a massive kitchen, and I was sick of subsidizing his snack addiction. What really pissed me off is that he would take like the last bit of whatever snack and leave the empty container on my shelf in the pantry. He would also open unopened containers and leave them open to go stale. He had a drinking problem too, and would steal anyone's beer or liquor they left on their shelf, so he was just stealing left and right. If you caught him in the act, he would insist he'd bought it and put it on your shelf accidentally, or he accidentally took it off your shelf. So sorry. He was a big dude, and I was a small woman. He thought it was funny. He also chewed with his mouth open and dropped crumbs of chewed food everywhere that he didn't pick up. He sucked. So one day I bought a new pack of Oreos, ate most of them, scraped out the cream of the remaining handful, and replaced it with toothpaste. Then put it on my shelf like normal. He woke the entire house with his gagging. He'd been out drinking, or home drinking someone else's shit, I dunno, and binged on, of course, my snacks. He shoved like 3 Oreos in his mouth at once and spewed all over the kitchen. Black Oreo cookie vomit everywhere. I did this maybe 3 times before he stopped stealing my snacks. Another time I did toothpaste and hot sauce in the Oreos, and another time I refilled my wine coolers with pink Gatorade and vinegar and dish soap. He actually drank one. When he realized I was booby trapping my snacks, he screamed a lot and threw the pack of Oreos across the kitchen and dumped my shelf of snacks on the floor. He refused to clean it. I kept my snacks in my car after that. He also left his shoes all over the house, and I would find small pebbles and throw them in the right shoe only, so he was always bitching about having a pebble in his shoe, so he had to stop and remove it on the way to work or class. He would also take your laundry out of the washer and dump it on the floor of the basement if he wanted to use the washer and dryer while you were in the middle of laundry. He would steal mine and other people's detergent too. I emptied the dryer lint catcher into his wash loads all the time. He drank coffee all the time. My coffee pot was the communal coffee pot. We had a Keurig too, but he didn't like it. When I moved out suddenly I took the coffee pot just to toss it in the dumpster down the street. I heard the tantrum he threw the next morning was monumental. He also kept throwing his bike in the garage in such a way that it blocked my car, so I always let a little air out of the tires when I had to move his bike to get out. He had the tires replaced twice. F you Stefan. I went to write one little thing and remembered all the other shit you did that made my senior year of college suck. I sold my house to an absolute asshole of a man. He truly made the whole selling process as unfriendly and nasty as he could. We had one wall in the living room with a bright red color. I just knew he was going to paint it. So I used a can of silicone oil to spray the word asshole on it. So when he painted the wall white, the red letters would show up every time, as the paint would not stick there. Put Mad Dog hot sauce in a burger in the work fridge because someone kept stealing my lunch. Poured that shit on there. The person ate my burger. He went home sick and never ate my food again. He didn't know it was mine. He just knew it wasn't his. So technically I never really got caught. I was part of a shitty little traveling circus when I was younger and had a brief relationship with the clown. After we broke up, he was being a passive-aggressive asshole, so I came up with some really petty revenge. In every show he was on stage in multiple scenes and had a very quick costume change before one of them. He was always in a bit of a panic to get this costume change done in time. Most shows, but not every single one, so it wouldn't be too suspicious. I would sneak to his dressing table and tighten his bow tie ridiculously tight so that he had to spend precious seconds getting it back to the right length before he could put it on. It brought me such joy each time I saw him struggle with it, and he never figured out that it was a deliberate act of sabotage. He just thought he must be doing something accidentally to it when he took it off. When I got fired from the circus, the clown was the owner's son and got annoyed that I started dating one of the acrobats, so he asked his dad to fire me. I stole his bow tie. For some reason the first sentence took me out, and then the story just kept getting better. Good for you, and screw that clown. I had this terrible thieving piece of shit neighbor that got drunk and let slip that he had warrants for his arrest out for him in the next county over. I don't just think he's a thief, I know for a fact he's a thief. But that's a longer story for another time. Anyway, one day I'm pulling out of my driveway and this idiot runs up to the car and flags me down. He's got a filled out job application in his hand and wants to know if I'll drop it off at the gas station for him. Sure, I take it and go on about my morning. I sit down at my desk and realize I forgot to drop off the application. Then a plan forms. I look up the county that he has arrest warrants in. I go to the sheriff's department website and I fill out the request to join the sheriff's ride-along program. With his information, birth date and social security of course. It took about a week before they came looking for him. Was it a dirtbag move? Maybe. Did he deserve it? Definitely. This is the same guy that used to steal my gas can, so I filled it with piss. When I was in high school, everyone knew I always had gum. During gym we had cubbies to leave our stuff in. Yes, no lockers, it was dumb. And every couple of days someone was stealing a whole pack. I chew gum constantly, to this day even. Probably not the best for me, but going through gum like that as a teen without a job was getting costly. Plus I was just pissed someone kept stealing my stuff. Normally at the time my go-to was Orbit Sweet Mint, which I thought would be harder to tamper with. So I began to occasionally chew Big Red. Then after some normalcy in, the addition became apparent when they stole a Big Red pack. Now was the time. The following week, I took a pack of Big Red and added water and cayenne pepper to a few sticks. Smeared deodorant, stick style, on a few more. Added water and flour to some others. Some I just straight up licked. Then I wrapped them all up in their foil wrappers, positioned them back in the pack. Added some tacky glue to the lip and closed it up to make it look and open like a fresh pack. Then I waited. The next week on a Big Red day the bait was taken. I never had a pack stolen again. Awful? Perhaps. Effective? Yes. They couldn't report me because they'd have to admit they have been stealing my gum. They played themselves. A certain American anti-gay activist visited my country to lobby against gay marriage, which was ultimately passed. She didn't seem to realize it is illegal for foreigners on visitor visas to 1. Take part in political rallies. She spoke at 1. And 2. Work or volunteer. She conducted anti-gay marriage workshops. I tattled to the immigration authorities, and she got banned. I was stuck at a job that was retaliating against me for not joining them in committing fraud. I was unable to leave that job at that point for a number of reasons. I had a box of squid in my car from fishing that I forgot about. It started to stink. It was in a plastic bag. I got to work before anyone else, and I took the plastic bag of stinky squid and stuffed it deep into a bush at the front entrance. It stunk like hell for freaking months, and nobody to my knowledge ever figured it out. New job, new town, new life, all is well. 30 years ago, I made cookies with X-Lax chocolates, knowing someone was going to steal them. They did. An ex cheated on me. I was civil with the breakup and told him I'd wash the clothes he'd left and they'd be in a box outside for him to pick up. And they were. Neatly folded and smelling sweetly. You couldn't tell at all that I'd rubbed the crotches of his boxes on poison oak leaves. In the 2000s, I was working on a home renovation for someone who turned out to be a massive bellend. The firm was going to pull away from the job due to the chap not paying and changing his mind mid-build. On the last day, when we were gathering tools up etc. to abandon a project, I opened 10 smoke detectors, put in their batteries, and hid them around the build. In walls, in ceilings, and everywhere else I know they would not be found. After 12 to 15 months, the beeping of the low battery sound would have driven him mad. The weirdest revenge I've ever told is someone quietly stopped correcting a know-it-all and just let them confidently explain the wrong facts to everyone until their own reputation did the work. When a company asks for my phone or email address, I give them my exes if I never want to talk to them or hear from them. I worked tech support for a streaming service for a couple years. Had a guy call in, cause he couldn't log into his account. He was typing his password wrong on his TV. He was an absolutely terrible person. He was screaming awful things to me for 20 minutes while I was trying to help him. After that call, I memorized his email. Every couple weeks I would pull up his account and log out of all devices. Just living well and cutting them completely out. That's all folks. Thank you for watching. If you like videos like this one, why not like and subscribe for more? Have a nice evening.